your players were talking Saturday night after the game about some differences they've seen in the team lately. One of them was, not was coming back after being down a couple of goals and not letting it get them down. Another one was kind of the fight that they showed, almost literally. And Sean Doogie gets hit, Tarek comes right to his defense, and there was some of the things that they saw. What have you seen different about this team lately, if anything?
Well, I think that's examples of competing and playing for one another. Both of those are. I think it's been a frustrating first half. We talked about this quite a bit in the past few weeks. It's because I think we're a better team than our records indicated. We've played some great games over the first half of the year, but we weren't able to put a lot of victories into some of the games where we played well. So I think that now that the results are starting to come, I think the confidence in each other is starting to come. I think that's a big part, when you talk about confidence as a player, to have that. I think a confident player is one that's done everything they could to prepare to be ready for their opportunity. So if I go into a game and I know that I did my workouts, I practiced hard, I got myself ready to play by getting the right rest and doing everything right, nutrition, all that stuff, I'm confident going in the game. And if your teammates do that as well, and the guys you're playing against, you start to feel confident in each other, that's when your team starts to be able to, play their best. And I think that's what I've seen in the past couple of weeks is a confidence amongst the group that's different than it was earlier in the year. Our goaltending's been really solid. Pretty much since the break, that's given us a chance every single night. I think that's been really important. But I also see some growth. And again, we had 7 freshmen playing most of the first 20 plus games. Those are 7 players that weren't in the lineup last year, and I think part of the maturity as a team is getting used to one another and understanding the roles and responsibilities needed to come up with solid team efforts to find ways to win. I think that's been better lately. So those are valid points by our guys for sure.
But it's been a results-based thing where you need the result to kind of turn it and unlock that maybe a little bit. It seemed like that you were playing good games, but the
Right.
wins maybe push it to a different level.
Right. We needed we need to go on a run. So that whether that Saturday Michigan State game started when we responded after a poor performance on Friday, and then going into the Notre Dame series. Like I said, the Notre Dame series, the game we won 5-0. We played better the game before when we lost 3-2. We just didn't win that game. We did everything right, and at the end of the game, you probably, you felt like you deserved to win because the break didn't go your way. They capitalized on their chances, and we couldn't solve their goalie. So the last 5 games have been really good. We didn't play perfect on Friday. We didn't play perfect on Saturday against Penn State, but we didn't stop competing. We didn't stop battling. We didn't stop believing in one another that we could get it done. And, those rallies, both of them in the third period on Friday and Saturday, were great signs of a team that's, knows what the word urgency means. I mean, I hate to say it, but that's where we're at in our season. We have to be urgent to get something out of the season. And we're good enough to be a team that deserves home ice in the playoffs, to start the playoffs. But to do that, you got to be consistent, and you got to pay a price to do that. And I think that's where we're at now in our mindset of our room. This is show up. We got to show up now. And fortunately, the past couple weeks we've gotten some results out of it, and this week will be no easier.
Yeah. Kyle Hayton actually out of the break has put up some pretty decent numbers. Maybe didn't get the results he wanted. Has Jack kind of taken the ball here and run with it, do you think, Tony, or is it still kind of?
I agree with you that Kyle has played much better to start the second half of the year and more consistent. The Notre Dame game on Friday, he played fine. The game on Saturday, obviously Jack played great, and that's why Jack deserved the starts this weekend. He won Friday. I thought he kept us in the game on Friday to give us a chance to come back and win. That's why he got to start again Saturday. So I think the good thing right now is we've got 2 goaltenders that are playing the best that they've played all year. So that's a good thing for us. Jack is on a little bit of a run, so expect him to play Friday. But it's nice to have both guys going right now.
You've tried a few different guys with Seamus and Will on that line. Max was the next guy in. What did you think you might get out of a group like that, or was it just trying another different combination there?
Well, I think Max has battled through some things. Obviously, I took him out of the lineup quite a bit for the first half of the year. I wanted him to be more consistent, more dependable, more reliable defensively. He's worked at it. He's worked at it in practice, and he earned it. So he earned that role. That's a big line for us. I mean, Shea and Johnny have been real solid for us pretty much throughout the year. Shea's a dynamic center that if I'm a player on our team, I'd want to play with Shea. And Max has earned it. And I like the way he played both games. He got rewarded with the big goal on Saturday night, but he had some great chances both Friday and Saturday before that goal. So I thought he was really good. I think he's gaining confidence in himself. I think his teammates are gaining confidence in him. And that's a big thing. He's still a young player. He's a very, very talented player that, this hopefully is a jump start for him to get going offensively and because he's very skilled.
If I can press you on when you said Seamus is the kind of center you'd want to play with. Why? What about him?
Makes plays. Seamus makes plays. He competes. I mean, you look at the goal, the effort he made on that goal. I think he's been a gamer for us all year, competitor. So if I'm dressed and playing, I wouldn't mind being on this line. He moves the puck, very, very dynamic offensively. Made a lot of big plays for us throughout the year. All right, Jay.
Tony, Olympic hockey is going to look a little different this year without the NHL guys. What is it going to look like, and what can people expect out of the United States team?
Yeah, it's definitely different without the NHL players there. The one thing that I keep saying is the past 5 Olympics have been outstanding with the Suitors and Pavelskis and all the superstars of the NHL as part of the Olympics. But I think if you look back to before that, and you look back to, let's just say 1980, since that's the team that I remember most and for what I think Olympic hockey is. Those players got there with nobody knowing who they were, and they were there for their first time on a big stage. The NHL players are on big stages just about every day. They play in Stanley Cups, they play in World Cups, they play in Olympics, and the Olympics are exciting for them, don't get me wrong, but I think this opportunity for the athletes that are getting the chance. We have 24 of our 25 players that will be first-time Olympians. This is kind of what the Olympics are. It's more pure. It's more exciting from the standpoint of the athlete getting an opportunity to represent their country at center stage in front of the world. So the energy, the passion, the excitement, the enthusiasm, the stories that aren't heard of before they get there. So in other words, when Patrick Kane gets there, you already know he's won 3 Stanley Cups and he scored this many goals and all this stuff. Not many people know about these guys. But by the end of the week and first week of the Olympics, hopefully all of these stories will be exciting ones for the American people. We'll be an exciting team. We got a lot of skill. We got, like I said, 25 guys that can't wait to get there and throw the red, white, and blue on to represent our country. So it'll be exciting. There'll be a ton of great competition with the other countries on what they've done to get ready for this Olympics. But I think we'll do well. I think the team that we have can compete with anybody. And looking forward to the challenges that will be there in front of us. But like I said, I think we're going to do very well. Thanks, Jay.
I know the plan's got a jolt, obviously, with JJ passing. How much of last week did you just spend trying to, get things to where they need to be? Because this is coming up fast, obviously, and now that's another thing.
Last week was a week of grieving and mourning and paying respects to who JJ was as a person and friend. his loss for our program and for USA Hockey in the big picture is very significant. I don't know that there's a more powerful man on what he was able to do to make our game better through all levels, internationally for sure. So his position as general manager of our team, we won't replace him with a new general manager. We will all try to pick up the pieces. We will do everything that we can that we think JJ would have wanted us to do. He left us in good shape with a great plan in place, and we will all follow through and pick up the slack on how we need to. So he will be there with us. All of the decisions we make as a staff, we will think, what would JJ have wanted us to do? And that's how we will run our team.